country hero, coming to save us all. You never judged us, taught us to stand up tall. Our country hero taught us to be as one. After the prequels, the healing has begun. The healing has begun.
Blistering guitar solo.
Walking the thin line between heaven, earth, and hell. Pop culture hero, saving us from ourselves.
Alright,
Let's crack this thing open.
Alright, so yeah, so I believe I boxed this in probably, say, a good 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't opened it since, you know,
You'd be surprised that
so
this thing even still works. Well, hey, you know what? We'll see if
Nintendo,
yeah.
I think I dropped the GameCube, you know, on a hardwood floor, and it still works. So you know what, Nintendo, I'm not gonna be surprised if I'm sure this will work. I'm concerned more about the games.
All right, let's crack it open.
But let's see the reopening of the Super Nintendo and what I have in here. So.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Oh, so there's nothing else in the box? Nope. Alright. So what do we got here? We got instructions. Ah, that's for a woman.
Actually, I'm noticing right now, if you take a look at the Super Nintendo, you'll notice that there's no discoloration of the plastic.
Very slight around the cartridge port.
Yeah.
So
Just hold it right up.
So if you can kind of tell, it's a little bit discolored right there, but for the most part, it's
yeah. Because usually this whole portion, like this whole plastic here, is always prone to discoloration. Usually it's solar. It's like a light. The bottom not so much, but the top usually will turn bright yellow.
And the amazing thing, it is
very light.
It is extremely light. Wow, like today consoles, you know, you need to like wear a back brace to carry them now. You know, the first PlayStation 3.
Oh my gosh.
And of course, too, as I'm sure many of you know, what this mysterious port was for.
I have no idea, actually.
You have no idea. Well, let me tell you. This was for.
Let me get it. Let me see if I can get that zoomed in on.
So, I'll just bring it up a little bit.
Okay.
So this port. This was the historic PlayStation port. Remember when Sony was going to make the CD add-on for the Super Nintendo?
It was going to go right there?
That's where that was supposed to go.
So that was never used then?
That was never used. Nope.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so simple. Power,
reset button. It's a top loader, you see?
It's a top loader, so.
What's this for?
I think I'm getting a little bit out of the front. Eject button.
Oh, that's the eject button.
So you couldn't just yank out the games. That was the one thing.
Well, yeah. You also notice that they got the little dust lid to keep dust from getting in the frame here. You'll notice they got that. The cool thing about that is that the Atari Jaguar never had anything like that. Every other console did, including this one, but the Atari Jaguar never had that.
I guess one little digression too, like I would say, like especially if I could dig up my Sega Genesis and find some games. I think this was when Nintendo started kind of veering more towards to being consoles being a toy, because it doesn't really, you know, it's not a bad looking console, but it looks like a toy. Whereas I would hope to kind of juxtapose that with the Sega Genesis, which looks very cool, and you know, that would be following suit. Nintendo would adopt kind of more the toy mentality, especially with the GameCube. The Wii looks pretty cool, but I think that's pretty clear about the paths the console would take. Arguably the greatest controller ever made, and the obvious template for other controllers that follow today.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
The Super Nintendo with, you know, the D-pad.
A lot more buttons, yeah.
The order of the 4 face buttons has not changed since.
No.
It is the basis for the Xbox. It is obvious that Sony took some liberties, but copied the exact same layout for, you know, their controller and DualShock. And of course, too, the shoulder buttons. So, So yes, the console's not heavy, but here's where you break your back. Oh,
That power brick.
Something that I do not miss. But yes, what's up with that? I fail to understand why.
Well, if you didn't have that, there'd have to be a power brick like what the Xbox has, or would have to be internal to the unit itself.
But
because that's a DC converter. That converts DC power to AC, or I should say AC power to DC power because it's a cleaner power.
But this is where we have this.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing is, what the deuce is this? Oh,
Wait a second. I have never seen it. Well, hold on. Let me take a look at that. Hold on. Hold that up.
We are going old school for that.
What the heck? What the heck is this? Has anybody? Come here. Have you ever seen anything like this before in your life? What the heck is this supposed to connect to? Wow. I don't know. What is that supposed to connect? What is that supposed to connect to? You know what? Just put it in the box.
But you know what? I think we can figure out a different way to hook up the console.
Really?
And I think I have the solution right here. Ever since with the Super Nintendo, and I believe still up to the Wii, but at least definitely for the GameCube, the composite cable, the input, starting with the Super Nintendo, has not changed. A Super Nintendo cable should still be compatible with the Wii. This, I swear onto the internet.
That looks identical to the Wii socket connection
I
too.
swear to the internet. I took this from my GameCube box because I wanted to look this up, and lo and behold, so if we can see, it fits.
Yeah, but does it work?
So why don't we get to the hooking up of the console, and we'll see if we can play some.
Hey, let's see if we can play.
Alright, so we're just going to turn to the back of the SNES unit.
I wonder if that number's still active.
So we dare you to call and say if there's any technical difficulties you see with the Super Nintendo in this video, let them know.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the multi-out where I will hook in the video cable. The RF out, which is that odd piece of cable that you saw before.
I have no idea what that's supposed to stand. Yeah, I just.
And this is where you had the channel 3, channel 4 switch. You had to turn your TV to a specific station, either 3 or 4, in order to play the Super Nintendo. Only if you used this output. So if you do the multi-out, of course, you would just hook it up.
What's a channel nowadays? Everything's digital.
Exactly. You would just access, the TV's tuner instead, and the AC adapter out. So I will just insert the plug, insert the out, and we will
see if this thing works.
Yes.
This TV right here has all the internal inputs connected to it already. I use this receiver right here. We're going to use this receiver right here because this already has the inputs, and it's going to go straight to the TV and probably upsample it. Since we got to do that, we have to work within the receiver. So we're going to hook it into the front auxiliary, which is just a standard video input. And we're going to see if this cable actually will work. Just hook it right in the front. Usually I use this connection to hook in my iPhone using regular video connections. So right there.
And now the fun part. Where the hell are you going to plug this in?
We're going to need to find a power brick. I think there's a power. There's a power connection back here. So move that a little bit closer.
So I can move the unit a bit.
Okay.
Alright, so you can't.
Okay, it's plugged in. Does it have a test screen or anything like that? Any way we can?
There's no
right
test screen.
I'll just put it right here.
Alright, so we got the unit down.
Alright. Setting it. Switching to the input, which is video 2, if I remember correctly. Yep. Set to video 2. Set the TV to the receiver's
Oh, we
input.
forgot the two important things. So, Maniac, if you could take this back, I will get one of the games and hook up one of my controllers. Alright, so hooking up.
Got the TV already set.
Hooking up controller 1. And why don't we start with the most famous Super Nintendo game, Mario World.
This will probably be this is probably not going to be the first time this game's been played in high definition, but it's going to be one of the rare times it is. If that receiver upsamples to 1080p, like I think it's going to.
And now it's the fateful moment. We have power.
I heard click. I hear sound.
We have sound, but no signal.
I can fix that.
Alright, so
I think that's the
bear with us
receiver.
for
Yeah,
1
1 minute. Okay, this is with the addition of 1 extra cable. Oh yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we have liftoff.
And whoa! Look at that. My saves.
Those are your saves?
I have a save game. It did not erase after, what, 10 years?
Oh my god.
So look at that. Okay, yes, I know. It's only 73 worlds unlocked. But
How many worlds are there in the game?
I think it's like 99 or I break 100, I think. But yeah, supposedly Miyamoto was disappointed with this game. It wasn't. He was under kind of the time constraints and make it available for launch. So it's a. I don't want to say it's a secret shame, but it's not as complete as he would have preferred it to be.
Well, they had to get this out for the launch of the Super Nintendo.
But yes, all of these different areas to get to in the game.
I could never make it farther than that first cave, by the way.
The Star Road, which can drop you off to different points of the map.
I never played
I
this.
just started back where I started from. Alright, so why don't we see what else we got.